It was there in the previous TS 16949, but the whole structure has changed. Before I proceed forward, let me give you a very quick overview of this. Why do you need contingency? So what is the meaning of contingency? Contingency means what is the alternate? I'll give you this one example. What happened? There was a company, Hero MotoCorp. They went to audit some supplier, and they were doing audit of tier 2. Nowadays, Maruti has also started doing audit of tier 2. Tier 2 means they will audit your suppliers. They will audit your suppliers. So that's what the Hero MotoCorp was doing, and this customer went to audit. Okay, and he saw this contingency plan. In the contingency plan, it is not control plan, by the way. It is let me write, it is a contingency plan. In the contingency plan, it was mentioned the about utility. When you say utility, what does it mean? Utility means the generator, air, water, all that comes under utility. So what happened? They have written, that company has written that main utility they have in the generator, they have this DG1, diesel generator 1. That was their main utility, diesel generator 1. DG means diesel generator. And then they have written as alternate. They have written as diesel generator 2. Now, it was when the customer asked the quality guy when this DG was purchased, he said, sir, it's been 6 months, already been 6 months that this DG is purchased. Then the customer asked the quality guy, take me to this DG. And then the quality guy has taken him to that particular DG, diesel generator, where it was stored. And the quality guy called the maintenance guy. He said, maintenance, come here. Customer want this DG to be started. And then when the maintenance guy came there, he was shivering. He was fearful. He said, sir, actually we bought this 6 months back, but still there are some parts which needs to be arrived, and so it is not operational. What happened then? What the customer would have told? He was very angry. Customer was very angry. He told that you have written this in your contingency plan for last 6 months. What is the use of contingency? Alternate, when the alternate is not tested, when the alternate is will not be able to help you. So you understand this. Before, in TS, the contingency was dead. As the contingency was dead. Okay, now in IATF, the contingency is live. So what does it mean? The contingency is not a dead document. It's a live document. It needs to be updated. It needs to be live. At the time when you need contingency, that means alternate. The alternate should help you. So in that perspective, I will request, let us try to understand this clause requirements, right? So contingency is not dead, contingency is live. Let's see. The organization shall identify and evaluate what internal and external risk to all manufacturing processes and infrastructure equipment essential to maintain product output and ensure customer requirements are met. So why do you need to have this contingency alternate? So that and contingency need to be done for internal risk also within the company, within the organization, and could also be outside the organization. Outside the organization could be because of this supplier, because of these external factors. Internal within the organization, because of organization. Why do you need to make contingency? Why do you need to have contingency? So that the customer requirements are met, or production output is met. Number 2, define contingency plan according to risk and impact to customer. So you need to have this contingency plan in place. That's a requirement. Prepare contingency plan for continuity of supply in the event of any of the following. So you need to have continuity. The show must go on, right? The customer should not be impacted. That's the intention, right? So here in contingency need to be defined for some specific events. So please understand, contingency need to be defined for some specific events. That's mandatory. You can define for other factor also, other area also, but at least for these events the contingency must be defined. What are those events? Please try to understand. Interruption from externally provided product, process and services. Don't get confused when it is written externally provided product, process and services. It means supplier, vendor. That's it. They have, made it more, I'll not say complex, but to include all the process, outsource process and service provider. That's the reason they have written this big word, externally provided product, process and services. It means supplier only. Recurring natural disaster, which happens again, earthquake, right? That would be a recurring natural disaster. Say flood, fire, utility interruption. Utility means water, electricity. This all will come under compressor, diesel generator. That all will come under utility. This is newly added, cyber attack. It was not there before. It was added in the sanction interpretation. Sanction interpretation are the small updates which you will see in the. You can get those in the IATF global oversight.org. So this is good. If IATF thinks that something needs to be updated, they do the updates, and you should also be aware about the updates. So cyber attack also, you should have contingency for cyber attack. Labor shortage and infrastructure disruption. I would like to give example of cyber attack. It was in year 2016, 17, I believe, somewhere in 16 or 17. Yeah, I think 17 early. There was a cyber attack. Obviously that ransomware was there, but before that also, what happened? I have booked one. I have bought one book that has to come from the foreign country. And what happened that I received one email in which some FedEx was written, FedEx courier number was written. I thought that was the information for my book. So I was waiting for that book to arrive, and I was very excited. I thought that's the information for my book. I immediately opened that and I clicked that. And as I clicked that, I realized that this is not a right link. That is a link which is used for phishing and for it's a kind of virus kind of thing. I immediately closed that link, immediately close everything and close my computer. And after some time, when I started my computer, I saw that some of my files were getting deleted, and I saw one message was flashed, and it was written in that message that put some Bitcoin or put some dollar in this account. If you don't put those Bitcoin or dollars in the account, my files will be deleted one by one, as in the movie, in Hindi movie. If you see the villain, when they capture like hijack a plane or hijack a particular number of people, then they say that I will kill person one by one if the government or the the people does not agree to their demand. In the similar way, he threatened. That message was a kind of threatening kind of thing, that if you do not put the Bitcoin or the money in the account, the files will be deleted one by one. Every hour I will delete one file. And I was very frustrated, but then I consulted my IT friend. He said, even if you give money, they may or may not return file, and they will be in your computer. They will be in your computer, and then what would happen that, and after 3 months, 4 months, they will again attack, because they have already presence in your computer. The best thing is to format. And then I was very frustrated. But yeah, then I thought that 15 days back I had one external drive, and I had taken the backup. And then I thought that, okay, my 15 days work only is not that much work, and that I could manage. That's not a big thing. And that's how I went to shop and I got my all the computer formatted. I lost some data, but not that much, too much of data, because I had a backup. What if the backup was not there in place? What if the backup was not there in place? I could have lost so much of many years of my work. You can perhaps understand, data is so important. Your training material, your consulting assignments, projects, so many things of so many years. So that's the reason the cyber attack is included. So the point is that not only you need to write the ways through which you can avoid the cyber attack, but also making sure that whatever is your contingency for making sure that cyber attack does not impact you. It could be virus update. It could be storing data in the external drive, multiple cloud, and that's what I do. Now I have two cloud, and one I also take the backup. So there are multiple ways after learning, hard learning. So yes, that's the reason the IATF has also include the cyber attack. I hope you got this understanding why this is important. Think about the engineering data. If that is stolen, or that is you know the critical confidential data of the customer is stolen from your computer, or there is a cyber attack, you tomorrow you miss all the data, there you can't do invoicing, or there is no engineering drawing in your cloud or portal. You think about this, right? This has also happened when the ransomware came. The flights operations also get halted, they also got impacted. So that is the impact it could have. That's the reason the cyber attack is included. Okay, so labor shortage, infrastructure disruption. So contingency plan need to be made for these conditions, including as a supplement to contingency plan. Supplement means in addition to this, a notification process to customer and other industry party to the extent and duration of any situation impacting customer operation. What does it mean? You should have some notification process. It could be in a communication matrix, or you can also define someone's responsibility that whenever this contingency is happening, it should be informed to industry parties, like for example customer, that this contingency has happened, or this we are working on this contingency, and your lines will not be impacted, or we are working on that, and this will take that much time. For example, you got one organization, they got fire. Like I remember one company had a powder coating department, and then they caught fire. They immediately informed customer also that our plant, this powder coating plant, has caught the fire, and we may not be able to supply you metal for 2 to 3 days, but we are working with the other. We had this contingency where within few hours we will now tie up with the or we have this tie up with the some other supplier, and it may take a day or so, and we'll be producing the make sure that your line is not halted for 2 to 3 days. It may be halted for 4 to 5 hours, or maybe a day. So that's what they informed, and then we have a safety stock, so that means your line will not be halted. So they informed like contingency will last for say a day or 2 or 3, like that, and we have this alternate in place. So that's what is the part of notification process. Inform those people, those who are related. It is also equally important. Okay, information to the concerned party should be done. Okay, now this is very important. This is very important, and it's a new requirement. Periodically test the contingency plan. This is a new. It was not there. That's the reason I say contingency is not dead. It is live. Live means you have to test the contingency. You have to do simulation, whatever. Like do the simulation or check. Actually go to the site, whatever. Like there should be some method for the periodic test. So that is the new requirement. Conduct contingency plan review minimum annually. Okay, at what frequency? At what frequency? The contingency planning need to be done. Contingency testing need to be done. At what frequency? Minimum annually. Okay, you can do once in 3 months, 6 months, but minimum annually, and that too as a multidisciplinary team, MDT. So friends, when we say MDT, it means CFT. Always remember, when we say MDT, multidisciplinary team, it means cross-functional team, multiple people, including top management. Yeah, document the contingency plan. So the contingency plan should be documented. Retain documented information. Keep the evidence. What was the revision? Who has updated? Who has authorized the change? Keep all the records. The contingency plan shall include provision to validate the manufactured product continue to meet customer specification after restart of production following an emergency in which production was stopped, and if the regular shutdown process not followed. What is the meaning of this? The meaning is that if you are following any contingency, that contingency should also be effective. And when we are coming back from the contingency to the original plan, then it should not affect the product conformity. Let's say, for example, you have two compressors, one compressor and second compressor. The first compressor, when it was not working, now your second compressor is working. If your second compressor is able to give that much pressure in the line so that product is conformity is not impacted, Okay, and if you again, when you come back to the original compressor, again you need to check that if it does not have impact on the product conformity. So what you can do, you can simply do this first piece approval system. If you have this setup approval, first piece inspection, that kind of system will be good enough to validate this requirement. Okay, so it is similar to previous change. Periodical testing is very much required. Notification to customer, periodical testing and notification to customer. Contingency plan is definitely required. How you will implement this clause? Identify key equipment, interruption from externally provided product, process, service, recurring natural disaster. Identify all this. Identify the suitable alternative. This is very, very important. Identify the alternative within organization or outside organization. When I say why outside organization, it could happen that you may say that I don't have alternate DG. I have only one diesel generator. I don't have alternate diesel generator. Then you keep the spare parts. That could be a keep the spare part inventory, or have the contract with the some outside third party that you can get DG on rent. Right, like that. You should have some kind of agreement. Ensure responsible person, whosoever you define. Testing method. There should be some testing method. Testing method could be actual testing, or could be documentation check, that kind of testing frequency, yeah, and check this contingency at decided frequency and prepare a record for same with result and action plan. Okay, if there are any action plan changes required, keep a record of that. So this is very, very important. The whole idea is contingency plan is not dead, it's a live document. So let's try to, oh, thank you very much.